What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are finally getting to put a part on for the Camaro that I have had sitting waiting for like months and months and months, since this thing has been locked away in a storage unit during the new house build. And it's finally out of its storage unit, and I finally get to put my cool parts on. And if you saw from the title, yes, these are Cadillac parts we're putting on my Chevy Camaro, but we'll explain more in a second. Now, if you guys have not seen the car on the channel, this is my 2018 ZL1 1LE, my very track-focused factory, go around a racetrack very fast car. That is its only purpose in life, and it does that very, very well. And today we are doing one of the things I've wanted to do to get this thing ready for an upcoming track day. The thing has not been out the whole year, and we finally, hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be making our way out to the track for a track day in Topeka about mid-September. So what we're going to be doing today is installing the new Cadillac Blackwing front brake ducts, or front brake ducting, or the air diverters, whatever you want to call them. These are what bolt to the front control arms to help move air from the front of the car up into the hub, brake, caliper, rotor area on the vehicle. Now, a ZL1 1LE does come with a extremely teeny, very laughable front brake duct that I have since removed and replaced with an SS1LE brake duct. Now, yes, all of these numbers and letters are very confusing, but we will get this side jacked up. We will pull that SS1LE brake duct off, and we'll lay all three out on the ground so we can really get a good, clear view of what changes or what airflow differences it might be. So like I said, the Blackwing Cadillac is on the same Alpha chassis as the 6th gen Camaro. So it is basically the same underneath as a Blackwing, and that's why these are just a direct bolt-on to the car. So guys, I'm gonna get this side up in the air. We'll get the old duct off, lay them out on the ground, and then see what we've got to work with here. All right, guys, so here we can see our SS1LE brake duct on this thing. Those are just 7mm screws or bolts that hold the brake duct onto that front link there. So we will go ahead and get that off so we can get them laid out. But while we are under here, you can see some of the special sauce that makes a 1LE so special and work so well. We've got our dual DSSV spool valve shocks here. Those are actually a factory coilover that you can see. We've got our threaded body. You can change ride height, I believe an inch plus or minus there. We've got our big 6-piston brakes, dual 2-piece brake rotors that just work so darn well lap after lap on track. All right, guys, so now that we've got the SS1LE brake duct off of this thing, we can see the differences between all three options here for the ZL1 1LE. This little teeny thing is the factory brake or air duct there that goes on the control arm. It is extremely small in comparison to the SS duct, or obviously the Cadillac Blackwing duct. It is just very, very small, and I can't assume that can scoop much, if any, air. Obviously better than nothing, but that can't be doing that much good under the car. Now, this is what we were all running later here in the SS1LE world. These are the SS1LE track brake ducts. These, again, are a direct bolt-on to the ZL1 1LE, and they have to be doing, I mean, what, 3 times as much work here as the 1LE, or the ZL1 brake ducts. I mean, they are twice as tall on the top and the bottom, but they are relatively flat. Yes, they've got a few scoops here on the bottom and the top, and a little bit of a kick there, but for the most part, it is pretty flat. And last but not least, the new thing that everybody is now kind of swapping to is the Blackwing brake ducts. And as you can tell, these things are much more sculpted, a lot more scoops, a lot more wings, a lot more of everything. It's just not a flat piece of plastic. It looks like it has a lot more purpose to its life. Now, one thing, just laying these things over top of each other, I've got the bolt holes pretty close to being lined up here. Yeah, right about there. So that is kind of the overlay of the two. If we look, the Blackwing brake duct does go a little bit taller, but the ZL1 brake duct here underneath does kick down further and extend out a little bit further. So maybe that scoops a little more air off the bottom of the track. I really don't know. Obviously an engineer or somebody with fluid or air dynamics is going to be able to explain a lot better than what I can or do. Now, one thing I did notice with the ZL1 brake ducts, even with stock ride height, that I am dragging these things on the ground. Now, my car sees basically no street mileage and only autocross and track mileage, though it hasn't seen any for a long while since it's been in storage. But I would often notice under hard braking that those brake ducts would drag the ground. Now, is that causing any issue? Absolutely not. It's just a little bit of plastic scrubbing on the ground, but they were very, very close to the ground. I assume these Blackwing brake ducts are not going to do that at all, considering they have lost that little inch of kick out where the SS ducts extended out to. But for as flimsy as these are, just very, very flimsy, being flat plastic, the Blackwing brake ducts, are, I mean, almost solid in comparison to how flimsy these brake ducts are. Now, that might make them a little less resistant to catching or hitting things and not braking, but I can only imagine at 140 mile an hour on a straightaway, the firmer brake duct being able to hold form and scoop more air versus the flimsier SS brake duct that might just get blown over, moved out of the way at speed. Again, guys, this is all speculation. I really have no idea, but it does seem like the Blackwing brake ducts are a little firmer in their construction. So we'll get this thing thrown on. Again, it's just super quick and easy. It's the 3 7mm that we pulled out to get the thing off, and then we will throw our wheel back on. Well, guys, so just like that, we've hopefully got a little more air being blown into our hub, caliper, rotor area on track. Now, I will throw the part numbers down in the description for these Blackwing ducts. I was able to order them through my local Chevy dealer, and they showed up in just a few days. It was not any long lead time. I don't know what the order status is now. Like I said, I ordered these things 6 months ago for this car, and finally now today I'm getting to throw them on. They were only like 26 bucks a piece, so it is a relatively inexpensive addition to the car if you're going to be out tracking it. And again, if you have not done any upgrades and you are still on the standard, very dinky little small factory brake duct, then absolutely this is going to be worth the upgrade. Now, if you're like me and you already threw the ZL1 brake ducts on, who knows? I'm not really sure if we're going to see any improvement. Now, are we going to be doing any testing on track? No. If I was smart, or if I was interested, I would have this on one side, the Blackwing duct on the other side, and be taking digital temp readings of the brakes after each track session. But yeah, we're not going to do that, unfortunately. So it's just a cool new Cadillac part for the Camaro. It does even have the cool little Cadillac V badge there on the duct. So yes, not scientific, no conclusive results, but it's a cool part to put on your Camaro, and that's always kind of a cool thing. So like I said, guys, part numbers will be down in the description for the Cadillac parts, because if you're going to be buying any brake ducts, I would probably just get the Cadillac ones, since they are a little bit firmer and a little less flimsy than the SS brake ducts. They do have a kit for the rear that does require a couple of holes to be drilled. I do have those on order. So we'll probably have a future video, hopefully showing the fit and fitment of the rear Blackwing ducts onto a 6th gen Camaro, because there is absolutely nothing back there to help blow air onto the brakes. So we will be adding those onto this car in the future. I doubt we will get them before the track session, but who knows? So yeah, guys, thanks for coming out into the garage, and for the first time in like a year, getting to do something to the Camaro, and hopefully in a few weeks we will be out, hopefully not very hot, maybe 80 degrees out on track with this thing and making some fast lap times. So until then, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.